Hello, I'm Josh George, doing my American Conference breakdown. We're going to start with the Temple Owls here. Last year, they only won one game by 2 points, and they beat the South Florida Bulls, who you can see they go on the road to this year. They also only have 2 starters on defense. A very inexperienced team, and a very, very inexperienced defense, one of the most inexperienced defenses in the nation. That could spell trouble. I've got them at 2-10 and 0-8 in conference play. Now to South Florida. This team has really been in a downward trend. They were ranked 87th in the preseason poll in 2019, and they were ranked 97th last year's preseason poll. This year, 114th in the preseason poll, and they gave up 212 yards per game on defense. Now, Nathan Greer is their most talented linebacker and might be an NFL prospect and an interesting player to watch this year, but he might be it for the poor Bulls. I've got them at 2-10 and 1-7 in conference play. Now, Memphis. A lot of people are high on Memphis, think that they've got a really good chance to compete for this conference championship, but offensive coordinator Kevin Jones has talked about a 2-quarterback system. Very rarely, almost never does a 2-quarterback system ever work. Switching out quarterbacks, usually not something you do, not something that ends up working. Switching in the middle of the season, not a good idea. They've got a really talented team, but I think the 2-quarterback system really hurts them. I've got them at 5-7 and 2-6 in conference play. Now, ECU, this is a team that is trending upward. Despite their record, or what I'm going to have their record as, I think they're a really talented team. They're a little bit higher than a lot of people have them predicting. As far as the standings go, they play a really tough non-conference and really tough group of 5 teams in Appalachian State and Marshall, and then a Power 5 team in South Carolina. Now, the other thing with ECU, they won their last 2 games, and they've got 10 starters back on defense. Granted, it was a defense that was 102nd in total defense, so they need improvement there, but I think they're trending in the right direction. I've got them at 4-8, but 3-5 in conference play. Now, Houston. Houston has some kind of problem, whether it's Dana Holgorsen or it's Clay Toon, because his offense is in the 50s in most categories, and I don't know where that offense goes wrong, but Dana Holgorsen usually has top 10 offenses, top 15 offenses, especially at West Virginia. So, and this defense, 80th in scoring defense. So problems there. I think this is a 500 team. I've got them at 6-6 and 4-4 in conference play. Now, Tulsa. Tulsa was a team that lost 3 games by a combined score of 14 points. Now, with that being said, and they lost to good teams, Oklahoma State, Mississippi State, and Cincinnati. And they were 19th in total defense. The problem is they were 52nd in total offense. Phil Montgomery is going to be the play caller. He's going to handle all play calling duties this year on offense. So maybe that means improvement. Hard to say. Tougher schedule this year. I've got them at 6-6 overall, 4-4 in conference play. Tulane, they were 17th in rushing efficiency last season, and really good running back, really good run team. The problem with this team is they were 115th in passing defense. When you play Oklahoma and Ole Miss, they're going to pass the ball all over you. Some of these other teams are going to really have an advantage passing the ball against you. Can you defend it? That I don't know. They're going to their strategy is definitely going to be ball control, 3rd and 3, running the ball, 4th and inches, running the ball. Long, sustained drives is what they're looking for. I've got them at 6-6 and 4-4 in conference play. Navy. Look, Coach Ken Niumatalolo, or however you say that, he's a good coach. He's had a full offseason. He will make this team do a full 180. They will have the Navy option attack. They will have that tough ground game. They will have that tough, hard-hitting defense. You will know you got hit. You may not not everyone may not get tackled, but it's going to be a hard hit. Hard collisions. I've got them at 6-6 and 5-3 in conference play. So, UCF, Gus Malzahn. I'm going to start with my biggest question mark, and that is Dillon Gabriel the guy for Gus Malzahn's offense? I'm not going to question the Florida speed here. They're fourth in the conference as far as the 247 talent composite goes, and I know that his offense is really suited for this team and this region and where he's recruiting, but I don't know if Gabriel's the guy, and I don't know if they can win some of their tougher road games. Otherwise, I can see an undefeated season out of this team. But I've got them at 10-2, 6-2 in conference play. Now, SMU, they've got some interesting guys transferring in. Grant Calcaterra, a tight end, big red zone threat, huge body, great tight end. And then Tanner Mordecai, who was a four-star kid, coached by Lincoln Riley, who's a quarterback whisperer, so he could be a huge transfer here and really help turn around this offense right here. And they have a decent schedule, I'm kind of high on them. Can this defense be as good as advertised? That I don't know. So, but I've got them 10-2, 7-1 in conference play. Now, Cincinnati, my biggest question mark is, can they compete with the Power 5? They have a tough game against Notre Dame. That'll really tell how good this team is. This defense was 13th in total defense, and they were 5th in total offense last year. Really efficient team. Ritter, one of the best quarterbacks in college football. A lot of people have them in their top 5, definitely top 10 kind of a guy. And Luke Fickell, great coach. 11-1, 8-0. Conference championship game features SMU and Cincinnati. Look, I'm going to pick Cincinnati, and I'll tell you why. SMU will have had a terrific season getting to the conference title game, and Cincinnati may have a New Year's Six bowl game on the line. They're going to go all out. They're going to find a way to win. I've got them finishing 12-1 and pushing SMU to 9-4. I'm Josh Dorch. This was the American Conference Breakdown.